He walked into my bar like he owned it. 3 men followed, all with that same arrogant stance cops wear when they know the law bends for them. But it was the man in front, the one with the badge tucked half visible under his jacket, who caught my attention. Detective Raymond Cole, my ex-wife's new husband. He looked around, ran a hand along the counter I'd built with my own hands, and said, "Nice place. Shame about what's coming." I didn't move, didn't blink, just watched as he leaned close enough for me to smell his cologne, the same one I used to wear. "Your profits," he said, smiling, "55% of them belong to us now. You don't pay, we find drugs under your bar tomorrow, enough to bury you for 20 years. He tapped the counter twice with his knuckles, like punctuation. His men chuckled. I said one thing, "This is a mistake." He laughed. "Are you resisting arrest already?" I pulled my phone from my pocket, dialed a single number, and pressed call. "You have 90 seconds to get out," I told him. He smirked, turned to his crew. "You hear that? The bartender's giving us a deadline." 80 seconds later, his smile was gone. He wasn't always the enemy. 3 years ago, Ray was my drinking buddy. We met through Lisa, my wife back then. He was her colleague at the precinct. We'd grill together on weekends, joke about bad cases, share stories of lowlifes and the justice system that never quite worked right. When my marriage started cracking, he was there, too often. Lisa said he was just helping, just listening. I believed her. Until one night, I came home early and saw his jacket on my chair. Her laugh in my kitchen. His voice saying my name like it was a joke. They didn't even flinch when I walked in. He just looked at me, steady, unapologetic, and said, "Guess now you know." I didn't yell, didn't throw anything. I just said, "You'll regret this." And I meant it. They got married 6 months later. I opened this bar a year after that. The first year, business was slow, but clean. I paid my taxes, my dues, every license in place. I made sure there was nothing anyone could pin on me, especially a cop. But Ray couldn't leave well enough alone. Maybe it bothered him that I rebuilt, that I smiled when he saw me in town, that I looked free. I knew he'd come eventually, so I made the bar ready, not for customers, but for witnesses. Every inch of this place was wired with cameras, every deal recorded, every night logged. And more importantly, I had friends. Quiet ones, the kind who didn't wear badges but knew exactly how to use them. When he walked in tonight, I already knew why. A tip from a bartender downtown. Ray and his crew had been shaking down small business owners, running an off-the-books protection racket. He thought he could fold me into it, so I gave him his stage. He played his part well. Threats, mocking laughter, the casual touch of his gun. My staff kept serving drinks like nothing was wrong, but every camera was rolling, every mic was live. The number I dialed, it went straight to internal affairs. The detective on the other end owed me. I'd helped his brother once, years ago, when no one else would. When I said 90 seconds, I wasn't bluffing. IA was already parked a block away, waiting for the call to start recording. At 70 seconds, I saw the first red and blue flash bounce off the glass. At 80, Ray turned. His men froze. Then the door swung open. 5 officers, body cams on, guns drawn. Hands where we can see them. Ray stammered something about ongoing operations, but they already had the warrant. IA had been building a file on him for months. Tonight, just gave them what they needed. As they cuffed him, his eyes found mine. He looked like a man watching his whole empire burn. "Lisa's gonna hate you for this," he spat. I smiled. She already does. They dragged him out, his crew too. The customers whispered, phones out, recording everything. I just stood there, wiping down the same counter he'd touched. The IA detective came over, nodded once. "You set him up well." "I didn't set him up," I said. "I just gave him enough rope." The next morning, every local news channel had the footage. Corrupt detective arrested in extortion sting. Lisa's husband. Her hero. They showed his face as he was led out in handcuffs, shouting that it was all a mistake. It wasn't. The evidence trail, cash, hidden ledgers, threats caught on tape, buried him before noon. Lisa came by the bar that night. She didn't order anything, just stood there, staring at the stool where he'd sat. "Did you plan this?" she asked quietly. I met her eyes. I planned to survive. She swallowed hard, then left. Didn't say another word. Now the bar's busier than ever. People love a place with a story.